If you're talking about this herd immunity, with our eligible population about 6.5 million, the best things, of course, you get 6.5 million, vaccinated within the next few months. But on current showing, is really challenging. So for example, if you're talking about 4 million, can we do it within 6 months? That means, can we do it within by end August? So that's the kind of situations that we are thinking of.
But I mean, given the current rate, are you confident that we could reach this goal maybe?
Certainly we need to speed up. Certainly we need to speed up. Yesterday we have about in the recent few days we have about 25,000 persons getting the first dose of vaccines a day. Is not enough. It's not enough. We can handle 50,000 a day, and I would encourage people to make the booking early. Yeah.
It's not enough, you say. Now, if you look at the reality on the ground right now, there are quite a few people out there who are not trusting of Sinovac, as you can see. The take-up rate for Sinovac is lower than the second vaccine. And a lot of it has to do with, you cannot ignore this, and you would know this as a minister who's dealt in the political sphere as well. A lot of this has to do with the 2019 unrest and the resentment there and the mistrust. So in terms of even, if you look all around you now, look at the number of people who are taking the second vaccine and not the one that's made in China, even though there is nothing wrong with the one made in China. How are you going to encourage people to, how do you get over this barrier that they have right now where they don't trust the vaccine? No matter, you've taken the Sinovac vaccine, right?
Yeah.
So, that's, as far as you're concerned, that's a vote of confidence. But that vote of confidence is not going across into the streets. People are very, very suspicious still. How will you deal with this?
The most important thing is that people get vaccinated. It's their own choice to decide which vaccine you choose. So the real issue we have to tackle is that how to get people make up their mind to receive the jab. As regards which vaccines is their own choice, they own their own decisions. Now, A is of course the confidence, right? So this reassurance about the process that a vaccine could be authorized for emergency use in Hong Kong, the data and all the news that are made available for people's consumption, and bearing in mind that with this whole pandemics, still around the world, and now more than 100 million doses of vaccines got vaccinated in different countries or places, and as regards the Sinovac and the BioNTech, is already over 60 or 70 million each. So this is some kind of assurance or confidence that you have a lot of real examples that you can look to. Now, so this is public confidence. The other one, of course, is why I have to get vaccinated. The number one thing, the number one incentive is that you have to protect yourself, protect your family, protect your loved ones. Fortunately, Hong Kong, we are under, or we have been under, the epidemic situations is not as worse as in other countries or places. But the chances that you get infected, and if you get infected, the consequences could be dire, especially for those elderly. So it's very important that you get vaccinated to protect yourself and your family and your loved ones. The other important consideration, of course, is on their daily activities or their travel, their business, and all that. So that's an areas that we are actively looking into, and also in consultation with different trade or sectors.
But looking at reality, Sinovac vaccine hasn't got much a very favorable response. I mean, experts have been saying that there aren't any evidence saying that Sinovac vaccine is effective against the coronavirus variants, and it's possible that now with some foreign countries they're saying that they're going to launch vaccine passports. There's a possibility that those foreign countries they're not going to recognize the Sinovac vaccine as well. So I mean, how is the government, Hong Kong government, going to persuade the Hong Kong public that you could still go ahead to get the Sinovac vaccine? What if there is like a lot of unused Sinovac vaccines left here? What is the government going to do?
Yeah, it's your attitude that you don't care which vaccine they take as long as they get vaccinated. But then the like exactly what Liz asked about. Then the Sinovac is not used. Maybe you should bring in other alternatives. Then, if people don't trust a made in China vaccine.
Oh, if you look at the facts, for those who get vaccinated in Hong Kong, both Sinovac and BioNTech have their so-called fans, and if you look at the figures, both the Sinovac and the BioNTech vaccines are being received by people.
Despite repeated clarifications from experts or from government officials, I mean, the take-up rate of vaccines still hasn't been boosted yet. I mean, what other measures the government is going to take to encourage more people to get the jabs then?
Cash incentives.
Well, I think the program has started for a month, and we will continue to do the main areas that we just say. People understand about vaccination and what's the difference after vaccination. We'll work on this, but at the same time, for the community, we have to get the information right. We have to make the clarification so that people can make their own informed decision.
Do you think it's enough at the moment?
Well, we will continue to work, but the whole community need to work together. That's our slogan. Together we fight the virus. And not just the government, or just you and me, right?
But togetherness is a big problem in the city at the moment, isn't it?
Well, so we have to work towards that, and I trust that on these issues of fighting the virus is talking about public health. It should be science, data, and figures that dictate, and not our political stance